Hey, y'all. Help him. What's up? How y'all doing? Okay, I see Mod. I saw that. It's so distracting. I don't know if some of you are not content creators, when you're going live or you're live streaming and then there's like comments on the side and it's so easy. Like I have my whole welcome, and then I look down and see stuff scrolling and I get so squirrely and I want to comment and everything. But anyway, how are y'all doing this fine Tuesday evening? For those of you on the East Coast, those of us on the West Coast, we're still winding down, still enjoying some of the beautiful sunshine that's happening here in beautiful sunny Phoenix, Arizona. How y'all doing? I hope y'all are doing fine. Anyway, I am super excited for this interview for many reasons. Number one, I like to get to know people. Like, if you haven't noticed, I got the gift to gab. Like, I really genuinely love people and I like to hear their story. I like when there's new people on that can offer information to me. I love to learn. So today I'm super excited to have someone that I believe is going to offer that for not only me, but also for you guys. So again, as I normally do, I'm not going to hold you guys. I'm going to give you guys a brief introduction of who this young man is, and then we're going to get the conversation rolling. I know that this is going to be beneficial for all of you. What'd you say? I was trying to, it's trying to snow there. Oh, God bless y'all. No, I don't want the S word. I do not want the S word. So, and if I do, I could drive about an hour or two up and get it. But we've lived in it long enough to be like, no, thank you. So anyway, I want to shout out real quickly, Trash Can Waves. Thank you for always showing amazing support to myself and other content creators and yourself. Okay. Shout out to you. Blessed Reborn Spirit. Hey. How y'all doing? So anyway, without further ado, wait a minute. Colleen, over the top WME. Wait a minute. She said, I'm here too. Don't even try it. Hey, girl. Hey. So anyway, friends, this is a new up and coming, but definitely in the fast lane, doing his thing, but new to me in the sense of, friendship, virtual friendship, however you want to say it. But I'll tell you, like I always do, how I heard about him and all of that, and what he means to me. But just I want you guys to welcome. His name is William, but his stage name, so to speak, is Before the Billions. And he is an IT. Wait, no, I don't want to say IT. He's a computer science major and he's a data engineer. But not only that, y'all, he is a wealth of knowledge for a lot of stuff. And that's what drew me to him. So without further ado, okay, listen. And Papa is clean tonight. Do not play. Don't play with him today. I'm just saying. Because listen. All right, y'all. Without further ado, welcome Before the Billions to the channel. Hey.
Hey, how's everybody doing today?
I was gonna, let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you my story. Maybe you can help me offline. I hear echo. But anyway, my Stream Deck is right there. I was setting it up because when you do StreamYard, you got to go around the mulberry bush and back again in order for it to work. So it's not linked up to StreamYard. So we have to use Ecamm or something else and then connect it. It's so weird. Anyway, I was clearing my cache yesterday because, for obvious reasons, we do so much and so much builds up, whatever. Child, it emptied out my whole StreamYard. Now I got to go. My whole Stream Deck. I got to redo the whole thing. No problem. So thank you for having the sound effects. Hit us again with the claps.
Applause.
All right. Let's see. Hey, Melissa, how are you? Last time I see you, I was 63. I'm 64 now. Pray everyone is doing well. Okay, Miss Renee, with your birthday. Good job. Happy birthday.
Yes,
I
happy
love it. I
birthday.
love it. I love it. Shout out to the chat. Okay, Professor Black Ops. So anyway, one thing I like to do, William, which one can I go by? First of all.
Either or,
Either
William or
or,
before the
because I
billions.
knew it. I kept trying to practice before the billions. William just falls out my mouth a little bit more easier than before the billions. Anyway,
Yeah, William is more simple. So
it's way more simple. And we're going to talk about before the billions. We're going to talk about YouTube and all that. But first, I want us to get to know you first. And then I'll tell the people what I found valuable so far. Just really getting to know you, watching your channel, that whole thing. Tell us a little bit about yourself. First of all, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 26 years old.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, that was one of the things that I was gonna say, y'all. This young man is full of wisdom, and you're definitely old enough to be one of my kids. And I always look at you as, and I wanted to explain it because I've been wanting to say it before in another situation when I was kind of talking you up to come up. But you remind me of like a Doogie Howser of computer science tech. Like you're this whiz kid of computer science, engineering. I mean, a lot. And so I was like, this kid is wise. Like, I love it. And I got to interview him and I got to get him on my channel. So, okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, ma'am. So I am William from Before the Billions. Before the Billions is my LLC, is my business. So
Okay.
I actually started it back last year,
Okay.
the actual LLC. But I had the name since 2013.
Wow.
Yes. And I'm from Atlanta, Georgia,
Okay.
born and raised,
Okay.
and still live here. I just ended up buying my own house,
Yes.
get my first house. So I am a data engineer now. So
Okay.
it's similar to a software engineer, only I work on the database side. So
Okay.
yeah, we're like the first response, really. Like whenever there's any issues, we're
Okay.
looking at okay, let's look at the data. So
Right.
that's pretty much what I work on, and I've been working in tech industry for a little bit over 3 years now,
Okay.
4 years, and I went to Georgia State University
Nice.
as a computer science major. So
Nice. So you're very analytical because my husband, my whole entire house, we're kind of techie in some kind of way. Even myself, I'm education, but I dive into tech and everything. And but we also have very analytical minds. So is that you? Is that you kind of
yes, ma'am. Yeah, they actually train you pretty much to be analytical and be
wow.
more logical when you're going
Wow.
through these courses
Uh-huh.
for your computer science major.
Yeah.
And also, my dad is into tech as well. So he used to be a police officer, but what he did was he used to work on the IT for
Okay.
Fulton County Police. So and he's still in IT now, even though
Okay.
he tried to retire, and then he's
Right.
like, I'm bored being retired. So
No,
he's doing
we're
some
about
more.
your dad's age, and my husband's the same way. He's gonna be retired twice here in a minute. But speaking of your dad, I found you. I don't remember whose channel you were on, but you were telling a story. And this is going to lead up to you speaking about transformation because I think a lot of who you are is the tech side, but so much of your life is transforming physically, your mindset, all of that, from what I hear when you're telling your stories. And so I hopped on. Well, I learned a lot about you. I don't know whose channel you were on, but anyway, you were talking about the time in your life when your dad pretty much was like, "You're a bum," and get yourself together. And I enjoyed that story so much. And I think that a lot of people in life would either gotten mad at their parents, rebelled, or just felt like it was the worst thing. But you chose it to level up. So tell my audience, because and the reason why I want to start here is because number one, that's how I really, really listened. Like that was like a story time, and I was leaned in. It was very interesting. And also, I know that a lot of my subscribers are just kind of like in a place. They want to transform. They want to do something new. So it's easy for me to say, do it, do it, do it. But I wanted somebody to come on. You're in a similar age group or someone that's younger. and to just kind of explain that journey. And then please explain how your father was, because that was hilarious to me, from a mother standpoint, because my husband is the exact same way. And then I'm just like how I said in the chat, I was like, yep, and here come mom around the way going, don't be so mean. But I've since learned that dads are so needed for that. Absolutely. But go ahead, I'm sorry. Go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am. So, the story I told it on my channel.
Okay, it was your channel.
Yes, it's a video titled, "What Your Father Should Have Taught You."
Okay.
This is actually There was actually a response to, a Kevin Samuels, video he did many years well, I ain't gonna say many years ago, it was, like, probably 2 years ago
Okay.
when he made that video, and I listened to that, and it helped me, and then I was like, "Okay, you know what? Let me tell the story about my dad and I."
Okay.
And, in that story, I was saying how when I grew up with, my mom, primarily. I grew up with my single mom, and, I was the only child on her side.
Okay.
So, and all my brothers only have brothers on my dad's side. So I have 2 stepbrothers and a little brother, half brother.
Okay.
Um, and I remember when I was going through high school and then, everything was going okay, but, my mom ended up getting sick. She ended
Okay.
up getting, lupus
Mm.
and, mixed connective tissue disorder, and,
Okay.
she ended up almost, passing away in 2011.
My God.
Um,
Okay.
so not only that was going on, but also my grandma, got a stroke and my granddad passed around that same time.
Okay.
So, this was right around the time I was, like, in 11th grade, and I, ended up, like, having to try and take care of things because we had no income. We were, like, poor.
Mm.
Um, and I remember when I graduated, um, I I didn't have a job, right?
Okay.
I had a job at, like, Wendy's, and that didn't last long, and then, I was just kinda living off of the refund I would get from Georgia State University because I had
Exactly.
scholarships, and, my dad, one day, he just was like, uh, "Hey, man, you need to start working. You need to, do some stuff." I was like, "Okay," and I didn't look that hard or anything like that. I was like, "I don't even have a car, I don't have anything that could get me from here to there, so what am I gonna do? How am I gonna get a job?"
Right.
And I had no skills, I had no degree.
Mm.
Fresh out of high school going into college, I'm like, "I really don't even have time." I'm having 12 to 16 credit hours for
Right.
school, so that's, like, all day, every day
Right.
if you're in school. And I remember we actually had to leave my grandma's house
Mm.
because of, a plumbing issue, and I had to move in with my dad. And
Mm.
then that's when everything kinda started where my dad was like, "Come on, man, you ain't gonna be living in my house and you ain't working." He
Right.
called me a straight up bum. He said, "Are you a mama's boy?" He was like, um, he's like, "Man, what he said that really resonated with me
Mm-hmm.
was that, and it was true, right? It was mean, but it was
But it's
true
true. Okay.
because what he said is that you a grown, able-bodied man living with your sick mom and grandma, and you ain't putting no income into it, and you just living off of them. And
Wow.
when he said that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, you know what? You're right." So,
Wow.
and when I thought about it, I was like, "Dang, that's what I really needed to hear,"
Right.
because what he said was true. So I ended up getting a job, as a
Wow.
security guard,
Okay.
and, it was what I could do at that time. I had to work at night because I couldn't work during the day, and, that was a terrible job though, but I still went ahead and put that income towards helping out my
Right.
family, and, then I ended up overworking, right? I had 3 jobs.
Mhm.
Right, went from no jobs to 3 jobs, working in Lyft, Uber, working in career services, and working in warehouse.
Wow.
So I had a lot of things going on just so that way I can kinda take care of my mom and my grandma at that time.
Right.
Because my grandma, she ended up getting dementia,
Mm.
so she couldn't work anymore. She actually, retired from Emory,
Okay.
and she was a respiratory therapist at that
Mm.
time, and my mom couldn't work either because she couldn't really breathe, and she finally got disability, so, yeah,
Nice.
That's it.
Yeah, you know what? That's significant. And to me, it really shows how important strong men are. Because if you would have moved in with your dad and he was just like, oh, okay, we probably wouldn't have Before the Billions right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or if you might have evolved eventually into that person, but it was that push from your dad. And so, speaking of the push, speaking of that, how much of your mindset had to change? Two questions. How important is education? Because you have a lot of people going, education, education nowadays. They're just like, and I'm like, no, education opens up the world of opportunity to me. Yes, there are a lot of opportunities these days. YouTube is one, but the truth of the matter is, to me, if you want to be seen as the expert, you got to have some education behind it. And then the other thing, a lot of what you are and a lot of what you talk about is that transformation. So, how was that transformation from going from that to this person who's now in college and getting a degree?
Right. So I think to answer your first question, education is extremely important. Obviously, the statistics show that the more
Pause.
educated.
Pause 1 second. I love when you give us statistics. It's my favorite. I'm telling you, here's the thing. You never know who's watching you. And I watch you quite often. And my favorite is when you bust out them statistics. I'm like, oh, shoot, it's on now. But go ahead.
Right, statistically, it's actually more beneficial because if you have education, like if you have at least your college degree,
Right.
it
Bachelor.
shows that you can prove that it proves that you can start something and finish it.
Mm,
That's what it really is. You actually make more money if you have a GED, if than you would if you had no high school diploma at all.
that's
And then
right.
you also make more money if you have a college degree, whether it's and it goes up in tiers,
Yeah.
associate degree and then bachelor's degree. Now, if you it depends on what you're actually
Yeah.
what degree you're going for. That's
Right.
why I always tell people, okay, go into like STEM degrees and
Hmm.
stuff like that because those are the ones that give you the highest return on investment.
Right.
But yeah, those and that's the one I chose. I looked it up. That's what I did initially because my dad told me, he said, "Hey, what degree are you gonna go for?" And I used to draw a lot. So I
Hmm.
wanted to be an artist.
Hmm.
And I was gonna go for art school, get an art degree,
Hmm.
and my dad said, "Nope, you do not wanna do that. You wanna
You
get
don't.
you gotta get something else." And,
Use that as your minor. Take some higher level education classes in art. He's right. He's
yes,
right.
and then what made it so bad is, of course, I remember we were at the movies, and then my dad said, "No, you do not wanna be an art major." And he saw one of his friends, and
Wow.
then, one of his friends he told his friend, he was like, "Hey, my son talking about getting an art degree." And then his friend said, "No, you don't wanna do it." Right? So he got more people to add on to it.
Yes.
'Cause, yeah, so obviously, it helped me out tremendously, and then he was also in IT, so it kinda helped out with,
Right.
what I wanted to do, and I just looked up, "Oh, what degrees make money?"
Right.
And IT or computer science was on there, so software engineering, computer science,
Nice.
IT, mathematics, all that kinda stuff.
Nice. So, y'all, if you're just tuning in, we have Before the Billions, William from Before the Billions, and I'm just interviewing him about life and life skills and transforming our mindsets. Physical, we're going to be tapping into that a little bit, and then financially. And so I brought him on because, I always try to educate in some kind of way. And I thought that he would be a wealth of knowledge to kind of go from something that's either dead end or stuck situation like that to being successful in whatever that looks like for you, but just living life to where to the fullest, to where you're evolving, so to speak. So that's what we're talking about now. So Before the Billions, yesterday I went on a little mini rant. I don't know if you were in the chat at that time, but um it it stemmed from the story where the lady got this $800 bill, and then they went to social services and everything like that. What is your thoughts on, so my thoughts on welfare, social services? If you need it, absolutely go get it. But do you think, and what are the statistics that but what are your thoughts on generational dependency on these programs?
Right.
Legacy or problem?
Yeah, so, like, you talk to somebody who had to deal with that too,
Exactly.
because I'm like
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
I remember you, bringing up that video of the lady who had the $800 bill from
Right.
Emory University, and I had been there to that campus many times, with my mom,
Mhm.
and, that it's in a nice area, right?
I know. I was
It's in
wrong. Yeah.
it's in a nice area. It's kinda secluded off to the side, but, it's
Wow.
nice houses and stuff like that. And, overall, I think that, welfare it's useful
Yeah.
for, I wouldn't say your whole life, right?
Right.
I think that, because having to deal with that with my mom,
Right.
it does not pay enough for you to
No.
live off of.
No.
You're gonna have to get some other sorts of income, especially with inflation going up.
Yes.
And also, this is not financial advice, but,
Right.
just wanted to give that disclaimer.
Oh, of
But
course.
but I had to deal with that. I had to,
Right.
it serves its purpose.
Right.
Obviously, the United States, does have a have a welfare system where there's a lot of other countries that don't even provide anything.
Nope.
So at least it's something,
Yes.
but, they do stop you from working, right? Because if you
Yep.
work, you have to be in poverty level worth and work, because if you make over a certain dollar amount, they will cut off your disability.
Yep.
They'll cut off your, of course, if you start working, you can't get no unemployment because you can't
Right.
work and have
Yeah,
unemployment.
unemployment.
Unemployment
Right.
right, unemployment means that, "Oh, I'm looking for a job, I just don't have a job at the moment. I'm
Yes.
I'm able to work." So you can't get unemployment and
And work. Right.
you can't get unemployment and work, and you can't get unemployment and disability at the same time,
Right.
because unemployment means, "Oh, I'm willing to work," but disability mean I can't
I
work.
can't work. Yep, yep. You're
Yeah,
absolutely right. And I agree with you. And I wanted to make sure, definitely as we continue the conversation about it, I'm like you. I came from that. I grew up with it. My mother became a nurse, and we didn't have a continual cycle of just long-term welfare. But I also think that we're seeing a lot of fraud nowadays, and a lot of it just really doesn't make sense to me because I'm like, just work, but easy money, I guess they say, you know.
mhm,
So what else did I wanted to say? So anyway, one thing that my viewers may not know about you also is talking about that transformation. You had a huge transformation as far as your body is concerned.
yes, ma'am.
Tell us about that.
Right. So this this is something, interesting. So my whole life I've been, pretty large, right? So I'm 6 feet, and when I was younger, I was overweight, and when I was in high school, I ended up losing some of that weight off, by getting more athletic, getting into tennis, doing a lot of, basketball and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, and then when I started working around that time when I was working those 3 jobs, I also had a girlfriend too, and, we ended up, so I would work a lot, and then I would
Hmm.
be sitting up here eating this unhealthy food because I didn't put time into actually meal prepping and stuff
Right.
like that. I didn't eat anything healthy. It used to be Wendy's because that's the only thing that was close to us. That warehouse was Wendy's, and there was this place called, Turner's,
Okay.
where they served something called pork hickory fries.
Oh Lord.
So, delicious, but it was terrible for you.
Right.
I would never tell anybody to go ahead and eat it, right? So, I was sitting here eating all this unhealthy food over and over again every single day, and then I would take my girlfriend out and spend my check, and then go out to Cheesecake Factory and
Right.
Chick-fil-A all the time and stuff like that, and it just gained up to where I got to 300 pounds.
Wow.
Of course, nobody made me do all these things. This is all because of
No.
my own stuff. So
No.
I wanted to make sure that that was said. But it was because of my own actions that I got up to 300 pounds,
Okay.
and I didn't realize that I got that big until I looked in the mirror one day and I saw my stomach, and I
Mm.
said, "Man, I done got fat." So let me go ahead, and my dad works out all the time,
Yes.
and he was like, "Man, you know what?" He said something again, right? Said something, and he said, "Man, if you don't start exercising, you're gonna be on some medicine."
Wow.
And I was like, "Dang, that's true."
Dad
You
don't
know,
cut
because
corners. I love
diabetes
it.
runs through my family like crazy. Yeah, diabetes runs through my family and stuff like that, and I didn't want to be another one.
Right.
So, I said, "You know what? Let me go ahead and let me start running." Couldn't run. Couldn't run. I was 300 pounds. I couldn't barely breathe going out to the park. But
See?
since the pandemic happened,
Mm.
last year, I was able to like, okay, you know, I got some time, some free time. I'm not in the office, so let me start walking at the park. And I walked at the park every single day.
Nice.
Didn't matter. Every single day I would walk, and then I got to the point where I could run, and
Wow.
then I started running, and then I said, okay. My dad told me, "Oh man, if all you do is walk and run, you're not going to necessarily tone up. You just gonna get soft."
Okay.
So he said, "You know what? You need to get in the gym with me." And my dad became a personal trainer.
I know, I remember that story. That's another story that I really loved. And that particular day when you were telling that story, and probably this story also, you were actually going to pick up your dad from the airport. He was coming to visit, or
Right.
yeah, I remember all of that. And so I'm very detailed when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, I just love that. I love how endearing your relationship, because again, you know, the hard truths that your dad uh guide you with can either be a deal breaker for a relationship, because a lot of people don't want to look in the mirror. And you know what? As you're telling your story for education, your story for losing weight, all I hear is discipline and persistency and consistency in both things. Because in order for you to finish school, for sure, you needed that. And
Mhm.
definitely to lose weight, you needed that. So, um, then I think I was on one of your lives and I was like, oh, wow, now he's really just like mind blowing. And this is the other thing before we get into YouTube. The other thing you were talking about one night was just, you know, buying homes, the financial freedom as far as that's concerned. Not necessarily financial freedom, but the financial gains of buying a home and different things like that. Share with us, because I think when I contacted you, I was like, you know, that's nice when you're talking to someone like me, right? You know, I can go buy a home or whatever. How would you speak and say all of that stuff you were saying during that late night chat to someone that's listening right now and feels absolutely overwhelmed, absolutely like that could never happen to me because I am on a what was it called, minimum wage job or no education? How would you guide them?
Right.
Uh, no financial advice. I'm just saying in general.
Right. So, but first, let me say this because I saw the comment and I wanted to say that I was actually, when I got to 300 pounds, I actually got down to 230 pounds. I lost
Nice.
70 pounds through within a year. So, yeah. And also to answer your question, Miss
Yeah, you're
Melissa.
good.
So, with trying to level up your income, you need to be able to get a certain set of habits first,
Mm,
because this is not financial advice, but you need to be
right.
able. It's not about like generational wealth isn't about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep.
Yes.
So if you are trying to get into a better space in life,
Mm-hmm.
because whenever you hear somebody with a, I guess, like a poor mindset where they say, "Oh, money isn't everything."
Right.
Well, the thing is that money is not everything, but it is right up there next to air. It's the reason why a lot of people are still alive today.
Yep.
Um, and with that, you need to be able to have a positive relationship with money, and you also need to be able to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself," and that's what I did. I challenged myself every year. I would say, "You know what? I'm going to be making this much money this year, and then next year I'm going to be making this much money." I gave myself a deadline.
Okay.
And then what I did was I say, "Okay, you know what? Next year I'm gonna double my money, or
Uh,
double my income." By doing that, I say, okay, well, what jobs pay more money, right? But before I could go ahead and get that next job, I need to get the certain kind of skills that they were looking for that was on the job description.
Yes, yes.
So I already have my degree, but even still, it's extremely difficult to get a job that pays well. Starting off when I got my software engineering job, my first one, I was only making $65,000 a year. So that that's above average because I think the average in the United States is around
Right.
40,000.
40. Yeah.
So I went up to 65,000, and I thought I was doing pretty good. And
Yeah.
then I was like, man, I'm spending money like crazy. Why is it that all my money is gone?
See?
So I ended up having to download a few apps. Downloaded Credit Karma because I started my credit.
Okay.
I ended up downloading Mint.com or Mint on my mobile app,
Yep.
and that was helping me with my budgeting. And I got to see how my money was moving. And then I also
Yes.
started investing some of that money because investing money, it helps you with keeping money. It depends on, it depends on
Yeah.
what you're investing in. But whenever I invest something, I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't want to pull out of this investment, not only because you had to pay capital gains tax, but also because you wanted to grow.
Right.
Right.
Right. You want it to mature. Yeah.
Right. But when you save your money, it's not doing anything.
Right.
And honestly, they give you some interest, but when I had Bank of America and the interest was like 0.01%, and I only got 1 cent when I
Right.
after the whole few
Right.
months.
Move your money. Yeah.
Right. So I put it in investments, and then even if you put your money in investments, you can't just access it as soon as possible.
Right.
It's going to take you a few days before you can actually access that money. So it helps you to keep your money
Yeah.
from just spending it frivolously like you could with a savings account.
Right.
And you move that money over from your savings account to your debit account, and then you like, okay, cool. Now I spent my money.
Exactly. You have to think about it. You got to think
Right.
about it and sit in it first. You're absolutely right. Right. So let me run this commercial and then we'll come back and get to talking about YouTube a little bit.
All right.
If you're liking my channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Right now, do it. Right now, do it. So y'all are everybody that comes on here, they be so tickled by that commercial. They're like, girl, you are something else. Where was I at? Right now, do it. So yeah, thank y'all, especially the replay gang. If you're tuning in, we are here with William from Before the Billions. That is his YouTube channel. We have it pinned. It's probably way up. Mods, if you can just kind of drop it again, just for the people that are just coming in. We're talking about transforming our minds, our physical, our financial, from our, I call him the Doogie Howser of YouTube, okay? Because he's young and very wise. And I mean that very, very term as a term of endearment for sure, because I love Doogie Howser. And you probably have no idea who he is, honestly. Because if you're my son's age, and I mentioned Doogie Howser to him one time, and he was like, huh? I don't know. Do you know who Doogie Howser is?
No, I do not.
I know you didn't. I thought about it. I was like, he don't know who Doogie Howser. Doogie Howser is a show that came out probably in the early 80s. And I was a little kid at the time. And anyway, he was a 13-year-old boy genius, but he was a doctor. So he was a doctor in a show and basically a Grey's Anatomy type situation, but not so serious. But yet he was a doctor, and this little kid is working on people and stuff like that. So it's very much a term of endearment coming from me because he was very smart, but he was just young. Doogie Howser. Anyway, I knew you didn't know. I was like, he too young. He too young. Because like I said, I called my son that one time and he's like, huh? So anyway, I'll drop a picture up on him on my community tab. But anyway, friends, we're here. We're having an awesome conversation. And if you like what you see on my channel, just like I said, go ahead and do it. Like this video. And see, Patrice said, I enjoyed watching Doogie Howser. She know Doogie. Yes, Doogie was the bomb. Like, yeah. So I don't mean that once you listen, y'all know what I'm saying. Those of you of a certain age, y'all like, oh yeah, she liked Before the Billions. I absolutely do. He's my Doogie Howser of the YouTubes. But anyway, Speaking of YouTube, um, first of all, how did the name Before the Billions come about?
Right. So the way that Before the Billions came out, it was actually a funny story. It came out in high school.
Ah,
Um, so this was after, we were going through a hard time with my mom and grandma and my granddad. Um, but this was, I want to say, like probably junior or senior year.
okay.
And I had an Instagram, right? So I had several Instagram names. I was trying to figure out, okay, what will stick? And I had a nickname in high school. So my name is
Okay.
William. Some people call me Will, and some people used to call me Big Willie Will in high school. So I was like, okay, that sounds like Will Smith or something like that. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll run with that. Put that as my Instagram name. So it went from a nickname to my Instagram name.
Okay.
And then, it wasn't until one day this girl, had messaged me, and she said, "Hey, you know what? I don't like your name. I don't like that you liked my picture. It makes me feel uncomfortable." Saying
Uh,
Big
Big
Willie Will.
Will. I got it.
And then so I said, "You know what? Let me go ahead and change this." And then I just thought of, I want to be a billionaire, so let me go ahead and say Before the Billions, because I'm not a billionaire yet.
Right. Nice.
So that's when I changed it in the
Nice.
locker room with
In
one
the
of
locker
my
room.
friends told me.
That is
So
so funny. And I like the fact that you took that. It wasn't criticism, but you took that advice from her because that's legit. I can now that she mentions it, if someone named Big Willie Will likes my pictures, I'm not gonna take that person seriously. I'm gonna think he's a creep. She's absolutely right. So kudos to you, because yeah. I don't know if I would do an interview with Big Willie Will. So that's funny. So before the billions, how I know this, but my subscribers need to know, or I want them to know, how did you start your YouTube?
right. So I started my YouTube back in 2013.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, it actually I only had a few videos on here related to college, like a college project and stuff like that. And then it wasn't until I took all those videos down, and
Okay.
it wasn't until I want to say 2019, around 2019, where I was like, okay, you know what? No, it was 2020. Sorry, 2020. So 2019, I had my job as a software engineer
Okay.
at my previous company, and I was a contractor.
Okay.
So at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, at January, I ended up getting laid off.
Okay.
And when I got laid off, it came out of nowhere, right? And not only did I get laid off, but it was like my whole team, most of my team got
Oh,
laid
it was
off,
one of those. Okay.
right? So my company, my like the
It's a
project I was
video right
on,
here.
the company they lost five. It was like $500,000, like half a million
Wow.
in the budget. So they ended up having to cut off a whole bunch of people, and then one guy he actually just had a baby,
Wow.
and it was like the week before he got laid off.
Oh no.
So it was a lot of things that was going on, and I just said, you know what? Let me just make a video about how it feels to get laid off
Wow. It just
as a
passed
software
over.
engineer.
Yep, there it is right here. I think this is it. Is this one it?
Yeah, it happened last year,
Yep.
2020.
So
So this
y'all
was
here. Go
mhm,
ahead.
this was actually a few days after I um I got laid off. Yep,
Hmm.
like 2 days actually, 2 days after I got laid off, and I tried to hide it from my dad because I didn't want him to call me a bum.
Right, right.
So I didn't even feel like telling my dad that I had a YouTube channel.
Oh no.
So, but I ended up making this video about how I got laid off. I was in my grandma's house, right?
Right.
And yeah, I ended up coming from there, and then I got another job that March.
Hmm.
So January, February, March, yep.
Nice.
And ever since then, I've been working without
Good.
without having that issue.
Like that. Yeah. Good. 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 I'm happy for you for that. And so speaking of I'm about to put you on the spot in the manosphere. You like, oh no, not the male code. But honestly, when I think about your story and I think about the ups and downs, and I think about, you could have been you're a high earning person, but life happens. How do you enter the conversation where both sides are talking, oh, the man needs to make this much and he needs to this, he needs to that. And a lot of times, the reason why I'm saying that is a lot of times I think a lot of people just they underestimate life. You know what I mean? You could have this man earning so much, you could be earning so much, but then the company folds or whatever. So my point is, instead of arguing should he, shouldn't he, you should really, in my opinion, really have a basis for the relationship that's not based on money. Yes, money is very important, but the maturity to know that life happens, but I'm going to stand by this person through it all. So anyway, what's your thoughts on that?
Right. So I agree. Like when I said earlier, money isn't everything. Is you have to get to the point where money isn't everything, right? Because when you're poor, like how I was, all my issues were related to money. If I had money, man, I would, I'll be able to pay for the medicine my mom needed. We'd be able to eat every single day.
Right.
There'd be days I need,
Right.
and there'd be days the lights get shut off.
Yep.
And water, all kinds of stuff would happen where when I didn't have money and everything was just tied to it. But
Right.
then when you get to when you start making more money, then you don't worry about money as much because hey, you have it and then
Right.
you work for it and everything's consistent. But then you get a whole other set of problems.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
now that you've acquired money, now you've acquired assets and things for yourself, and now it's protecting the assets and the things
Yeah.
that you built. So that's the complete difference.
Right.
But then when it comes to the relationship side, yeah, you don't want your relationship to be based off of money. In fact,
Right.
you don't want to even lead with money when you're trying to get into a relationship. Now,
That's
this is
right.
not, I ain't gonna say this. Well, it's kind of relationship. I guess there's no fidelity. I forget it. I forget what you call it. Some responsibility when you giving relationship advice. But
Right.
you don't want to lead with, oh, I got this much money. I'm making $100,000 a year, and then
Right.
with me, girl, you don't want to
Right.
do that
Nope.
because I
No.
had met some people. I met this girl. She said, "Oh yeah, I was dating a millionaire, an African millionaire, and I had to leave him alone because he was married and stuff like that." So
Right.
you don't want to just leave with your money because there's always somebody else who makes more money than you.
Period. Yep.
His name Elon Musk, and even he has women issues, from time to time. So
Yep. You're absolutely right. Y'all hear it. Y'all hear the wisdom. Y'all see why I needed to interview him and have him on. I'm telling you this, and I say kid again because I am definitely old enough to be a mom, but this young man is a wealth of knowledge. And I like to hear you. I love your stories. I love your statistics. I am a statistic junkie. I'm a Google junkie. And so you just kind of talk right up my alley. Speaking of talking right up my alley, YouTube. How's it going for you?
right, YouTube is going well. I actually just hit
I
757 views.
see.
Right,
Love it.
and it's going well. I cannot stress how much I appreciate my community.
Yes.
They, actually, I put up a poll. I want to get your opinion on it. I don't know
Uh-oh.
if you've seen it already.
I don't think
I
I
put
saw
up
it.
I put up a poll in my community tab, and I was asking people, what should I call this community?
Ah,
And
isn't that the hardest?
yes,
It's the
but
hardest.
the choices I had was before the billionaires,
Okay.
premature billionaires, billionaires, and then I had an other section. Now the other section, that's actually the one that's leading, and the one that's leading is Billy's, right? So I was like, ugh. I don't know why that's leading,
I don't know
but
why either.
but that one's
Okay, let's
leading.
practice. Let's practice. Hey y'all. Hey Billies. Good morning. How y'all doing? That don't know.
That don't even sound right.
No. Welcome,
So
Billy's. Smash the like button, Billy's. No,
so they have the other one that people commented most was BTB Squad.
I like
And
that.
I can get with that one way more than
I can
Billy.
get that. I can get
I
with
can
that.
get with BTB Squad, I can get with Before the Billionaires, and I can get with Billionaires.
Yeah, but
Those are
not
like my
Billy's.
top ones.
Yeah. You know what?
But
It took me 2 years to find it because I knew for me, I didn't want a mob, I didn't want a squad, and I didn't want something else. And I just they're my family. I just say they're my family. So, but I think what'll happen because I had a similar dilemma with my name. I needed something else to go with just my name. And one of my subscribers were like, real talk. I like that. Because I added something else and she was like, that ain't it. Add real talk with me. And I was like, I like that. And so that's when the name change happened. I'm telling you, your subscriber, somebody who's a subscriber and a mad follower of you, they'll give it to you. They'll give it
right.
to you. But yeah, Billy's is not it. I don't like that one, but
I
I
don't
gotta
like
go
that
over
one
there.
either.
I'm gonna check that out. But yes, you are doing absolutely amazing. Not just I love relevant content. I like, you know, what is the word? Not execute professionalism, all of that. Even when you're just chilling. Now I have to tell you, I like your story times. I am usually on your channel late at night when I'm like, why is he up? But okay, I'm here for it. And you're just tinkering around, changing your banners, you're just working and you're letting us talk in the chat or whatever. That is one of my favorite things that I like to come to your channel for. I don't know, I just find it really, really relaxing. And like I said, a lot of times when you're doing that, it's late on your end, but it's almost time for us on this end to kind of wind down. So it's really, really, it's very, very relaxing. I like that. But what has been the focus of your channel? So those of you my subscribers that are tuning in and they're not sure if they want to subscribe, let them know what you got going on over there.
Right. So overall, I am a data engineer.
Okay.
So I do bring in that aspect to things, but also can be considered something of a full stack developer.
Okay.
So a full stack developer is I can work on the website for how it looks, and I can also work on the database and everything else in between.
Okay.
Right. So I have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to kind of, I guess you can call it like a jack of all trades.
Right.
That's pretty much what a full stack developer is.
Okay.
And with that, I work on my website for the late night work streams or
Yeah.
late night work sessions. And actually, I got the idea from Anton Daniels. He
Okay.
had like a work session, and then I was like, you know what? Let me start up a work session
Yeah.
on my channel, and then because I need to get some work done. And then, but primarily, what we do on the channel is we have discussions about different topics
Okay.
relate that my community wants to hear about. And then we also have interviews on my channel as well.
Okay.
And I actually just put up an interview earlier today
Yeah.
with guy named Jedi Mike,
Mm-hmm.
who is a great supporter of mine, who came in and he just jumped up on the panel and wanted to have a discussion. And then we
I
said,
like
you
it.
know,
Yeah.
let's just turn it into an interview.
Yep. I like Jedi Mike. Jedi Mike is the truth. Yep. I saw when he was on there. Absolutely.
Right.
Um, So you don't necessarily have one lane as far as a niche is concerned. You just have not just, but you've used your skills to hone in as far as the late night work sessions and different things that surrounds that. But then also you have the conversations about the interviews about life and whatever else.
Right.
Okay.
And I pretty much do that. But you know, because of course the discussions are based off of like a lot of them are based off of jobs and in the
Ah,
tech industry. So a lot of them are starting off like that.
right.
Like you know, and I kind of do some Trojan horsing where I
Okay.
have like the R&B. I had like the R&B influence. I see XDMC in the chat
Yep.
where I had like the R&B influence because I was listening to some R&B music. I was like, wait a second. Let me go ahead and make a video kind of based off of that Jodeci song "Cry for You."
Yeah.
And for that, I was thinking, okay, well, there's a lot of people who are pretty much crying for a job or,
Right.
like doing
I
doing
saw
above
that
and
one.
beyond.
Yeah.
So, and with that, I just go in there. There's the discussion. We're talking about jobs, but
Right.
then we also kind of tie in like whatever the um the Trojan horse is.
Right. I do the same thing in essence. I take the breaking news and then I'm going to give my commentary, and in some kind of way I'm going to educate, be a mentor, or come at it from being a sister. So I absolutely understand that 100%. So when at what point would you say like your channel just kind of blew up? Because definitely when I first came on the scene, you did not have 600 700 followers, but just boom, I'm so proud of you. So was it a specific video that took place? um so when did that blow up? And then I have a follow-up question for that.
Right. So when I first started this YouTube thing, I had around 12 subscribers. Probably not even
Mhm.
that much. I'm probably giving myself too many.
You hyping yourself
So,
up.
and I was one of them. I had another channel. I had my personal channel, and I had the Before the Billions channel. I had to subscribe to myself to get myself that 12.
Listen, I understand.
And and then I was like, okay, let me put out some videos. Nobody watched them. And then you know what? I had been watching a lot of the Manosphere content for a while because I started with mediocre stories and reviews.
Okay. Yeah.
And I look up to him like he's like a big brother.
Yeah.
Um, like
People have
of
really
course,
taken you under their wings. I love that. You have a lot of they have really but you have that personality about you where everybody's like, "That's my little brother. Let's go." I love it. I love it.
right. And with that, I started to watch them, and then I started to watch O'Shea Duke Jackson, Kevin Samuels, and then I saw that O'Shea brought on the lead attorney,
Mhm.
and I was like, a lot of the things that lead attorney was saying was making a lot of sense, and
A
I
lot
really
of sense.
enjoyed what he said, and I like his personality.
Yep.
I was like, okay, let me go ahead and subscribe to him.
Yep.
And then it was about like 3 months ago where I said, okay, you know what? I'm nervous, right? But let me go ahead and jump up on his panel. He was
Wow.
talking about the first one I jumped up on was, I think it was either a Freestyle Friday. I think it was a Freestyle Friday that he had where he just talked about anything.
Right.
And I jumped up on there. I said, I didn't have anything to say. I said, I just wanted to tell you that a lot of the things that you're saying is impactful. I'm living in the same area as you. Of course, I'm this age, right? But
Right.
I'm saying that what his impact has helped me out a lot, and just how to go about through life. And I say, okay, you know what? Uh, Let me go ahead and jump on a few more panels.
Right.
And I jumped up on a few more panels. The next one was The Worth of a Husband.
Mhm.
And after that, then I just kept on going on there. And he's like, man, he goes up here a lot. He's been up here like 20 times or
I
something like
remember
that.
that. Yep. Yep.
Right. And then Lead Attorney kind of just started coming on. And then the video that really got me a lot more subscribers, the video of I was offered to interview
I saw that.
for
Mhm.
yeah, for a job that was starting at 130 to $160,000 a year.
Mhm.
So I put that up. I actually did get that email, and people were asking, "Oh, is it fake?" I was like, "No, it's a real person, real
Yeah.
email, everything else.
Right.
The job is legit." And then I had a lot of people jumping on. Then I got his wife at live jumping on. I
Mhm.
had Lead Attorney. He came on. I had a whole discussion with Jonathan Barronville and First Gen Corporate, um, and that turned into like the first argument on the channel. But I had more of an educational channel, so I was like, okay, we're not going to argue on here; we're just discussion.
Right. Right.
But that one led to a lot of people viewing my channel. That was a
Nice.
5-hour long live stream, and we
Yeah.
ended up getting through a lot of people coming on and
Yeah.
supporting, and
Nice.
then I jumped up. a lot of subscribers.
One thing about it is, I'm sure you know this, but as the big sister, big mom of it all, you can attribute it to going on different panels and different things like that. But one thing that I definitely want to give you credit for, you can bring the people through all those things, but there's something, you have the it factor to be able to keep the people, is what I'm trying to say. So kudos to you, because you could jump on all the panels all you want, but if the people aren't valuing your content, which I definitely do, and which is, the reason why I have you here. So thank you times a million for agreeing to do this, because you've just been a wealth of knowledge. But I just wanted to let you know, you definitely have the it factor to me to keep the people once you get off the stream. So yeah, I wasn't getting the okay, they just talking to each other. They over there talking. I'm not even. So you know how sometimes I don't know if it happens to you, but sometimes the StreamYard, the comments doesn't load, so it just kind of gets stuck at one. Then I have to go open it up in another window and go on YouTube actually to see it. But anyway, they're having fun with each other. So before we close out, I have some questions for you, because it's time for. All right.
I like that.
Thank you. So, random questions, the part of the interview where we just get a little silly. And this was birthed from a live that I had, and everyone's like, I like this part. Okay, good. So, we'll do it here. So, where I just give random questions. And let's see. The first one was, did you see these yesterday? Because then this will tell me if I need
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Okay, good. Good. All right. In one sentence, so this would be good for you from a tech point of view. In one sentence, how would you describe the internet?
The internet is a lot of useful information mixed with a lot of people's opinions.
Yep. Very good one. That's pretty much it. So here's a question I just thought of at the top of my head. I love to ask this question. This is a question that we always talk about and laugh about as a family, or just talk about. You're a billionaire at this point. You and I have similar upbringings as far as, having the bare minimum and then having more, and then now, just dreaming of being a billionaire. So you're a billionaire. What is it that you, don't matter how much money you have, you are not buying? That's like, in other words, mine is towels. I'm not buying $1,000 towels. I'm just not going to do it. Now, I'm mid-range. I buy my towels from Nordstrom, JCPenney's, or Macy's, or something like that. So what is it that you absolutely are going to be budget conscious for?
Is it? Can I do several things, or does
Yes.
it have to be one thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Food,
Okay.
clothing, because I don't think that you need to spend a whole bunch of money on clothing, really,
Right.
or a lot of food, because some people will eat out. I remember I took a girl out on a date. She got 3 entrees, and I was like, okay, that's a little too much.
She tried it.
Right? But that's what that's the thing. Like, why spend all that much money for things that are useless,
Right.
right? And also, I don't think that I'm gonna get a whole bunch of cars. I actually had a high school classmate come up to me the other day on Halloween, and he just started flexing on me. He said he had like hundreds of dollars of bills, but he was outside of Party City. He was asking for donations. So he said, "Man, I ain't gonna ask you for no donation. I ain't gonna ask you for a cash out." So he pulls out his wallet. It had a whole bunch of 100s in there. He said, "Yeah, I got money." He said, "I got 5 cars and everything else. I just,
Right.
out here promoting my music." And I was like, "All right, man, cool." So
Right.
I just drove off. And I thought that was just the funniest thing, because I was like, okay, cars are depreciating assets.
As soon as you drive them off.
As soon
Yeah.
as you drive them off, and you're gonna be sitting there, and then that's another thing. I ain't gonna buy a whole bunch of cars, and a lot of times you see people spending money on cars like a Bugatti and
Right.
fast cars to drive them around every day.
Right.
But then, really, what rich people do, they buy like a Bugatti or something like that, or some race car, a track hawk, and then they put it up on the trailer,
Yep.
and they drive it out to the track, and they drive it out,
Yep.
and then they put it back on the thing, and they put it back in the garage because
Period.
then they drive a regular car.
Yep. And their
Because
regular car is not a Bugatti.
right, and a
You're
regular
absolutely
car, so the average speed limit in the United States is around 65 miles per hour. So it's useless to get some super fast car if you can't even really drive it like how you want
exactly.
to.
Exactly. So before the bill, not before the billions. XDMC says, "I'm never buying goobers, peanut butter and jelly in the same jar. Never, never, never." He said, "Not never." Blessed Reborn Spirit says she is not buying new body parts. Don't blame her. Not doing that either. I don't know. Okay, so that's it for that. So that was a good answer. So yeah, I think that's it. Like I'll yeah, like some, I'm not gonna lie, there are some shoes that I'll probably buy, but I like $50,000 pair of shoes or something. I don't know, $50,000 purse, all that. No, can't do it. But your answer reminded me. Did you see where I had I think it was one of our sipping and just saying, and I played this clip, and or you've seen it, you've had to have seen it on Instagram, and I wanted you to know what your thoughts about it, whether women are like, make his pockets hurt because of the wedding ring. Did you see that?
I didn't see that.
Oh my goodness. Lady has her, so we see on screen her hand is, you don't see her ring. And she says he could have, so the soundbite says he could have proposed to me with the ring pop, but he didn't. And then she flips her hands over, and it's this ring. And I've seen some of them put the bill of how much the ring costs, and the music goes, "Make his pockets hurt." And I'm like, y'all cannot be serious. Disgusting. So yeah, it's on one of the videos that I did. What was the other one? So that was one question. The other one is, when you become a billionaire, I'm pretty sure you're going to have a boat. What would you name your boat?
I would call it billionaires, a billionaire boat or something like that.
No, call it Billy's boat. Billy's boat.
Billy's boat. You know what the funny thing is that my dad's nickname is Billy, and my nickname is BJ, stands for Billy Jr.
Right.
So it makes sense, but I wouldn't call the community that.
Right. No, yeah, I'm the same way. Do you think when you become a billionaire, you would want a boat? Is that something you're interested in?
Sure.
Have you ever been on a boat? Have you
I've
ever
been on a
sailed?
boat before.
Okay, okay.
And then my dad gonna send me this video of him on a yacht. And he was over there in Mexico on a yacht with his friends and stuff like that. I was like, man,
It's the life. I
I'll be
love it.
there.
We get on one every chance we get. But just like the RVs, we want an RV. Well, we were looking for one, but I don't know if you know about this, but most people that have RVs and most people that have boats, they're like, do not get it. It's the worst to upkeep, to store. It's like a money pit. And I was like, and I've heard that from all my friends that have boats. They're like, don't do it. Don't do it. So we were like, okay, well, we're gonna stop. We'll rent it or something. But yeah. Oh, one more before we close out a little bit. Would you rather know the touch history of an object? So basically the ink pen, the money that you get. When you touch it in your head, you learn where it's been. Or would you like the gift of speaking to animals?
I would much rather take the gift of speaking to animals.
That's what I said.
Because if you touch a dollar bill, I don't want to see no club.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
I don't need to get some hand sanitizer or something like that.
Exactly. So I'm looking at the chat. They all over the place. But yeah, I thought the same thing because I'm already a germaphobe when it comes down to stuff like that. So then for it to be confirmed that this pen went wherever it went, and yeah, no. So yeah, that was the same thing. So yeah, you survived your first segment of Okay, friends. So if you're just tuning in, we are rounding out a wonderful interview that I had with William of Before the Billions. Like I said, he is a wealth of knowledge, not just for financial, not just for tech industry, not just for computer science, but just transforming your mindset so that you can go on to kind of begin to live your best life and to go on to live your best life. And it is reflected in his own life choices. So I wanted to bring him here, just kind of to bring his own set of knowledge and to confirm a lot of things that I've been kind of preaching and teaching over here. Just from a point of view, a smart young man, very, very smart man. And someone in the comment section did say it. They were like, Before the Billions is dropping gems. He absolutely is. XDMC says William is the man. That's why I rock with him. Absolutely, XDMC. XDMC says, be careful with those boat rides. Remember what happened to the last time a bunch of us got on a boat. Look where we ended up. Listen. Yeah. That's why you got to be intentional with where you're going on the boats, okay? That is so funny. So yeah, a lot of people rock with you. The chat is cheering you on, and so am I. And like I said, keep up all the awesome work. Before I say my goodbyes, is there anything else that you want to leave the people with?
Yes, ma'am. Also, first I want to say, let me get the.
Go ahead.
Well, thank you so much for having me up on your platform. Really do appreciate it. And I wanted to say that one of the best things about joining onto YouTube is the community that you're in. And, of course, I had a video talking about you have to give to get. So what I did was I always give my support to a lot of my followers, a lot of my subscribers. I always check out their channels, always comment or watch their videos and give a like. And with that, I've been reached out to by a lot of people for collaborations, for giving me just resources or ideas for videos. And obviously, if I hadn't started this YouTube thing, I would not be getting interviewed right at this moment. So I took this so seriously. I was like, let me go get a haircut.
Didn't you? Listen. And I took it just as serious, and I hope you felt that. Like, it really was an honor to have you come up here. Like I said, you never know who's watching you. I don't always comment, but you best believe I am in the chat. If I see Before the Billions or certain people live, I'm in there and I'm checking you out. And, may you continue to grow expeditiously. And, like I said, you have the it factor. You can cam up all day and night. But if you don't have the it factor to keep people coming back and interested, I don't know. I'm just saying. So, yeah, you're welcome anytime. So hopefully it was an enjoyable experience where you're not running like that was trash. I ain't never going back. No. But it was fun. Not only was it fun though, but it was very, very informative, as I thought it would be. You're well-spoken, wealth of knowledge, and hopefully we'll be able to see you back soon.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm going to, let me see. I usually just count to like a 3 and we just give a cute little wave goodbye. And then we say goodbye to everyone. And then we'll chat, once the live is over a little bit. So anyway, my friends, y'all heard it here first, Before the Billions. Okay. I'll be able to say, I know him. When he hits that billion, we probably hit it together. Okay. Because my name should have been Real Talk with Melissa on her way to getting billions before the billions.
Like that one.
Yeah. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all for your support. It's been fun. Tune in on Thursday. I will be back on Thursday as my normal time. But if you enjoyed William, make sure that number 1, you hit the like button on this video. But number 2, head over to his channel. It is linked in the description box. Don't do him like that, okay? If you haven't already, get on over there. Not yet, but let us wave us by. All right. As always, my friends, be kind to people because we just never know what they're going through. And it's just the right thing to do. Okay. So until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.